The funny thing about watching that game between the Colts and the Steelers is like I watched the first drive with Daniel Jones, and I was like, you know what? Maybe Daniel Jones actually is pretty good. I'm starting to come around a little bit with Daniel Jones. Like I didn't buy it for most of the season. I needed to see more. I needed to see it against a team like the Steelers in Pittsburgh. The whole atmosphere and the bully aspects that the Pittsburgh Steelers always carry with them to kind of check your manhood in a way. So I wanted to see that. And that first drive, I was like, you know what? Maybe Daniel Jones has turned the corner. Maybe he really is a different quarterback with this Indianapolis Colts team. And then, boom, interception, fumble, turnover. 5 turnovers by Daniel Jones, six total by the team. And I was like, nope, still Daniel Jones. Some people will be like, oh, you were just waiting to attack Daniel Jones and the Colts the first chance you got. You can say that, that's fine, but I told you before, when I see a team like the Colts, something tells me I just can't buy it yet. It just you watch some of these teams in any sport, one time, I'll bring it up again. The Toronto Raptors, when they had Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, everyone was talking about this is Toronto's year. They've won 60-plus games. They're the best team in the East. Or even this past season with the Cleveland Cavaliers, Donovan Mitchell, the Cavs have the best team in the NBA. And you just look at them, it's like, I don't buy it. I just don't. I think they're going to lose. I think they're not going to win it. And every time my gut has told me something about certain teams, I've had a pretty good track record. I was right about Toronto. I was right about the Cavaliers last year. Yesterday kind of amplified my gut with the Colts saying, okay, Daniel Jones really ain't who y'all think he really became. He's still Daniel Jones. Why do I say this? The first time that you shut down the running game with Jonathan Taylor, this is the first game he has been shut down because Jonathan Taylor's been running crazy over everybody. This game, he doesn't have that. And the score gets a little bit out of reach, and now you have to throw the ball. All of a sudden, you see 6 turnovers, 5 from your quarterback. So now what do you think the other teams are thinking? Okay, let's load the box and contain Jonathan Taylor and still think, hey, man, it's still Daniel Jones. Now, Colts offensive line, one of the best in the league, had a bad day. I'll acknowledge that for sure. That was a big factor. But at the same time, it's like, now Daniel Jones, all right, you're supposed to be in the MVP conversation. You're supposed to be most improved, all this stuff and everything. Shane Steichen, new team, new atmosphere. You have gotten out to a hot start. Okay, this is when you need to start, playing, being the MVP in a way. I didn't see that. I saw the old Daniel Jones. I saw head scratching interceptions that went right to the other guy. I saw the tip pass interception. I see the fumbles. I see stuff that I saw with the Giants when things went bad and the running game wasn't really helping him. That's what I saw. So the Colts frauds. I'm not there yet saying that they're frauds. Not quite. But when I see a game like that in Pittsburgh against the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, who had a lot of pressure coming in on this game, a lot of people were saying a lot of things about how the Steelers defense has not lived up to par based on how much money they spent in the offseason, acquiring the likes of Darius Slay and Jalen Ramsey, paying T.J. Watt, having Alex Highsmith there, having Cam Hayward there, who wanted more money before the season started. It didn't look like they were living up to par. But they did on Sunday because they completely just took the Colts out of what they wanted to do. They just that first turnover from T.J. Watt changed the entire game from that point on. Daniel Jones looked shook. The Colts offensive line didn't look the same. Now all of a sudden, wide receivers can't get open. Now all of a sudden, Jonathan Taylor doesn't have a lot of room to run. So I wanted to see what happened when Daniel Jones got his first taste of real adversity, and that's what we saw. So for me, that's a bad sign. It's not just a bad game; it's a bad sign because look, we've seen Daniel Jones enough to know kind of who he is. But I mean, he's played great this season. He's got the Colts in a great position to possibly get the number 1 seed. They're in a weak division. They should win it easily, in my opinion. But when I see games like that, it reminds me, oh, wait, this is why I haven't been quite sold on the Colts just yet. Why I haven't been sold on Daniel Jones yet. Now, can he turn it around and make up for lost time, that lost game? Sure. They can win if they run the table the rest of the season, we'll probably forget about that Pittsburgh loss. But for me, I still will have questions going into the playoffs. Because are you still going to be Daniel Jones that we've known your entire career? Is this really a renaissance for Daniel Jones? Sunday against Pittsburgh Steelers was not a good start for that.